Well, hello there. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. But first, let's enjoy this beautiful day at the zoo. So, what are we talking about? Well, have you all heard Harmeet Dhillon is challenging Ronna McDaniels for the RNC chair position? Oh my goodness. What a mess. What a mess. And you remember former President Donald Trump said that, well, loyalty is everything to him. Remember, he said Jewish people are not being loyal in America because of all the wonderful work he did for Israel. That notwithstanding, let's talk about what's happening to RNC chairwoman Ronna McDaniels. Now she's running against Harmeet Dhillon. Harmeet Dhillon is a conservative lawyer and committee woman in California. Conservatives recently at, the crazy Toilet Paper USA conference, also known as Turning Points USA, they recently did a poll and the poll said that, well, Ronna McDaniels lost pretty badly. Harmeet Dhillon trounced her 58% of the Turning Point USA conference voted for Harmeet Dhillon. 31% by Mike Lindell. You all know who Mike Lindell is. The conspiracy theorist. Who's now saying that Ron DeSantis didn't really win in Florida. Is that what he's saying? Who knows? The machines did it. That's remained consistent. Anyway, can you really smell the misogyny on this? Before we go back to Trump and loyalty, can you smell the misogyny on this? I can. Ronna McDaniels has done everything Donald Trump wanted. Paid his legal bills. Went along with all of his failed candidates. And now they're turning their backs on Ronna McDaniels, the conservatives, for another woman. Now, they're blaming Ronna McDaniels for all of their losses. They're not blaming any of their male candidates, starting with Donald Trump. Why is that? Why no blame for the lunatic from Mar-a-Lago? Ronna McDaniels backed him in 2020. Supported all of his failed Senate and gubernatorial nominees in 2022. Ronna McDaniel has been paying his legal bills. So for him to say, I like both Harmeet Dhillon and Ronna McDaniel, talk about disloyalty. Harmeet Dhillon hasn't paid a single Trump legal bill. Ronna McDaniels has. And for that, Donald Trump can't even show loyalty to Ronna McDaniels. What do you think about that, Al? Oh, I'm talking with the other Al here. We're having a nice conversation about the chaos over at the RNC on a lovely day. You know, this is bad. Really bad. And Charlie Kirk of Turning Points USA. What a bunch of misogyny. Now, why don't Charlie Kirk run for RNC chair? If he's so smart and he has all the solutions and he knows how to make sure that the Republicans and conservatives win elections, why doesn't he seek the chair? Sounds to me he's ungrateful too. Sounds like he's a misogynist. Now they'll say, oh, well, we're backing one woman over another, so it's not misogyny. But women have experienced this at the workplace all the time. One woman who's highly qualified, works for a long time. And then there's another woman, usually younger, and she's always better than the first woman you hired at the job. We've seen this playbook. Women recognize it. And you know, conservatives, it's not going to work. We're back. We had to take a little momentary pause. And then, to give you a better view of all my friends, we're gonna pause again. Nope, just kidding. Sorry about that. So, loyalty. I guess 2023 is all gonna be about loyalty. And Trump has said that certain people and certain groups are not loyal. But he's not showing loyalty to Ronna McDaniel. Now, transpose that with what he is doing for Kevin McCarthy. Representative Andy Biggs is running against Kevin McCarthy for the speakership. And yet, Donald Trump has weighed in and he's endorsed Kevin McCarthy. Why is that? Why more loyalty to Kevin McCarthy than Ronna McDaniel? When you're a free bird, you're always on the move. You know how it is. So back to loyalty. Kevin McCarthy gets shown a lot of loyalty. Ronna McDaniels, none at all. Kevin McCarthy has been around as long as Ronna McDaniels. So why is Donald Trump wanting to interject himself? Is Andy Biggs not a good friend of his? Didn't Andy Biggs try to thwart certification of President Biden? So Andy Biggs gets no love. Kevin McCarthy gets all the love. Ronna McDaniels is hated on because she's a loser for backing a president who lost the House and the Senate for the Republicans, and then lost re-election, something that's really hard for an incumbent president to do. Lose a re-election. But is Ronna McDaniel's fault? See, this is where the Republican Party gets into trouble. So much misogyny and sexism. It's steep. So loyalty. The person paying your legal bills, you have no loyalty to. He says, I like them both. Ronna McDaniel and her primary challenger, Harmeet, Dhillon. He likes them both. But Ronna McDaniel was the person he appointed, paid his legal bills, sided with all of his failed candidates, turned the Republican Party into the MAGA Party, and no loyalty for Ronna McDaniel. Talk about disloyalty, Donald John Trump.